All right, folks, the man, the myth, the legend, bringer of rain boxing talk is coming at you again with some more invaluable knowledge, so make sure you're listening up, okay? Now, this Saturday, we actually have a pretty significant fight going on. The return of the legend, Vasyl Lomachenko, is coming back after his layoff with his last fight against Lopez being a pretty big disappointment for Lomachenko. So he's looking to rebound against Nakatani. Now, this is a guy I've seen a fight a few times. Obviously, he had that great fight with Lopez, who some people thought he gave him the hardest fight of his career. And he surpassed a lot of expectations in that fight for sure. And then he had that back and forth war with Felix Verdejo, a guy who we probably will never see again box. For those who don't know about what happened with Felix Verdejo, I'll spare you the details. Let me just say it's not pretty. The man is not a good human being. And you know what? I'm happy Nakatani whooped the shit out of him in the end after what he did. Anyway, so Nakatani has already been on ESPN, been on the world level a few times, so he's not going to have any fear going up there against Lomachenko. And let me tell you, this guy, he kind of embodies that quintessential Japanese spirit of not backing down, being super durable, throwing a lot of punches, and basically he's not afraid to give one. He's not afraid to get one to give one. And the thing about Nakatani is he's 6 feet tall, especially for a 35 pounder. He's got a lot of height on Lomachenko, who I believe is only 5'7". But don't expect him to really use that height. All the fights I've seen from Nakatani, he's coming forward. He's trying to create an action. He kind of reminds me a little bit. He's a more polished version of this guy named Yoshihiro Kamagai. I don't know if you guys remember him. He fought Robert the Ghost Guerrero and Miguel Cotto, a very crude Japanese fighter who came forward and threw a lot of punches. I think Nakatani, like I said, is a little bit more polished, is a little bit more technically sound than him, a little more controlled, not as wild, but the point stands. I don't think Nakatani is going to use any of his height and reach advantage. He's going to bring it to Lomachenko. And quite frankly, I really respect Lomachenko for taking this fight. People need to realize that after that kind of dud against Lopez, while I questioned the game plan that he had in that fight, and I happen to think that Lomachenko would beat him in a rematch pretty easily. Regardless, there was a disappointing fight. He lost his titles, yada, yada. And he could have fought some random bum. I mean, he could have called up Ryan Garcia or Gervonta Davis and asked him, hey, do you know a bum I could fight for my comeback fight? And they would have a long list of names. They could give him a damn phone book full of bums because, well, Gervonta Davis is starting to step up his competition a little bit. So I'm proud of that. But Ryan Garcia, man, he has maybe the most fraudulent career of any top boxer I've seen. I mean, him and Jake Paul they must have the same manager. Very carefully managed and artificially pumped up as a great fighter without actually having fought anyone. Excuse me, I went on a little rant there. But Lomachenko could have taken an easy fight and fought some random guy off the street for his comeback fight and got ESPN to buy into it, and he would have knocked him out, and it would have been, oh my God, Lomachenko's back. But what's great about this fight is there's no other outcome. Like, what we're going to find out for sure, 100%, and there's no doubt, is if Lomachenko is back to being the Matrix that we all know and love. Because if he's not that same guy, we're going to find out one way or another because he's facing a guy who's going to bring that out of him. And he's going to need to bring his A game because at the lightweight division, Lomachenko, he's not exactly a puncher. I know he stopped Linares, but that was due to mostly a perfectly placed body shot. And, Linares took a lot of shots. That up jab from Lomachenko, all kinds of shots. And he wasn't going away. It took a perfectly placed body shot to put him away. And at the 135 division, Loma is not a very big puncher. So some people are expecting him to knock out Nakatani early. I don't think so. It's really going to test the attrition and the heart of Loma. If he still has it, if his heart's still in the game, we're going to find out because come rounds 9, 10, 11, those championship rounds, Nakatani is probably going to still be around. He's probably going to still try to come forward, and he actually might get stronger in the second half of the fight. And trust me, guys, Lomachenko is not in for an easy fight. This is a legitimate top 5 lightweight. He's not fighting some bum like he could have fought in this comeback fight. This is why Lomachenko is one of the greats. He's truly trying to test himself and see if he still has it. So I'm coming away with a Lomachenko decision win. I think he's going to beat him on points. Nakatani's a tough motherfucker. This guy is, like I said, your classic throwback Japanese fighter. And we're going to find out if Loma still has it. And if he does win, Teo Lopez, come on, man. He's been acting funny since that first fight. He's been acting really odd. Whenever Lomachenko's name gets thrown around, I think he has a feeling that he might have got lucky in that fight. And we need to run it back. We need to run it back because Loma wants those belts back, and he needs them. So we'll see what happens, folks, but this Saturday, you don't miss it. This is a badass fight right here.